Let me ask you something. Does your organization have values posted somewhere? Maybe on the wall, on your website, in the employee handbook? Most do. And those values probably sound great. Integrity, collaboration, innovation, respect. These words might also be on your list. But here's the harder question. Do your employees actually experience those values every day? And does everyone have a shared understanding of what they mean? Do your managers evaluate staff on these values based on the same behavioral anchors? Or is there a gap between what you say your culture is, what people understand it to be, and what people are actually living? Because when there's a disconnect, people notice, they feel it, and it erodes everything. Trust drops, engagement falls, and your best people start looking elsewhere. Not because the values are wrong, but because the culture doesn't consistently reflect them. But what if culture wasn't just aspirational? What if it was actionable, measurable, and experienced equitably by everyone in your organization? That's exactly what this pathway creates. A workplace where culture isn't something you hope happens, it's something you intentionally build, sustain, and reinforce at every level. This isn't about another poster on the wall or one-time training. This is about transforming culture into a shared system where values align with behaviors, psychological safety is real, and trust is the foundation of how you operate. Here's how it works. We guide you through 5 interconnected focus areas with more than 20 actionable strategies. You start by auditing your current cultural conditions, not what you think they are, but what the data and employee experiences actually show you. Then we work on aligning leadership behaviors with your stated values, because culture is set at the top. If leaders aren't modeling what you say matters, no amount of policy or training will fix that gap. We establish communication rhythms so information flows transparently and employees have a genuine voice in decisions that affect them. We create fair feedback loops where accountability isn't just top-down but exists at every level. And we embed those practices across departments so culture isn't siloed, it's organization-wide. The goal is psychological safety and people feeling a sense of belonging. That means people can speak up, take risks, challenge ideas, and bring their whole selves to work without fear. People feel included, appreciated for their contributions, and that they can bring their respectful, authentic self to work. When you have that, innovation happens. Problem solving gets better, performance increases, people stay. So, what changes when you get culture right? Engagement goes up because people feel valued and heard. Retention improves because employees aren't just working for a paycheck, they're connected to the purpose and community. Performance strengthens because teams trust each other enough to collaborate effectively and take smart risks. Your organization becomes more resilient. When challenges hit, and they will, you have a foundation of trust and shared values to navigate through them. You attract better talent because your culture reputation precedes you, and you reduce the costly cycle of disengagement and turnover that drains resources and momentum. This isn't soft stuff, this is strategic. Culture drives your bottom line, your innovation capacity, and your ability to execute on your mission. Look, culture work is hard. It requires honesty about where you are, commitment to change, and consistency over time. It's not a quick fix or a campaign that ends after 3 months. But it's also the most important work you can do because everything else you're trying to accomplish, your strategic goals, your growth plans, your impact, all of it rests on the strength of your culture. This pathway gives you the roadmap to move from aspirational values to accountable systems, from fragmented initiatives to comprehensive sustained transformation, from culture as a nice to have to culture as your competitive advantage. So if you are ready to create a culture where growth, performance, and psychological safety aren't just words but lived realities, in this strategic pathway, you'll walk through goals and actions you can take that. What involving the entire company to make it happen could transform how people feel about the organization and their contributions.